My name is Alina Lanevsky, and I live in St. Petersburg, Russia. And my story is about the time that I played Clara in the Nutcracker. She did not like it. She dismissed it. And they dropped the Nutcracker from the list of ballets they did. Yeah, it was really surprising. But I never knew if they did it again. So after this, I went to France, and I danced in Swan Lake.
Hi, I'm Clementine Justice, and I was living through the 60s. And so when I was living through the 60s, there was a lot of events going on, like Vietnam War, and John F. Kennedy was president. He wanted to make a new America, but a lot of people didn't agree with that. So in 1963, someone killed him.
My name is Virginia Van Cosmet, and I am studying about the Revolutionary War. The British were fighting for they were fighting for a king. They weren't fighting for but the colonists were fighting for their lives. They wanted a free country. The British just wanted to stay loyal to their king, but at the same time they didn't understand that their king was very selfish. All he wanted was the money. He wanted as much money as possible. And since the people that discovered America were from his land, he would say, "Well, you're from my land, so you should give me the money you earn, and if not, you will banished, or you can be sentenced to death." So many people would be like, "Okay, I'm gonna give them their money I earn because I don't want to die just because I don't want to give money to my king." Well, this was the battlefield at that time. There was many trains at this time, and this is how they would go. There would be aircrafts, and there would be people with guns.
I'm very impressed by the amount of research they go through and have to do, and then the assembling of it, so it makes sense to someone other than yourself.
I am the backup singer for the Supremes, along with Colette Butler. We were the best friends. It was us 7 girls, and we called ourselves the Fab Five. It was always a name. We didn't know why. We just loved it. Paparazzi shouted everything. They go, "What's your opinion on her death? How did she die? How did she do this? How did she do that?" That's when everyone just started crying. We rushed away from the cameras. They made everything that was supposed to be a good moment to cherish that she was in heaven. She's in a better place now. They made it go down into something terrible.
I owned an ice cream shop while I was working as an umpire, and this is where the Mets won the World Series. And Cleon Jones, he got hit in the foot with this ball because there was shoe polish on it.
So what I would do for fun is I would go to chariot races at Circus Maximus, and that's the best place to go, and they would see 250,000 people. I would go to the Coliseum and watch gladiators battle, where there would be thousands and thousands of people sitting.
My name is Albert Eiffel. My father, Gustav Eiffel, built the Eiffel Tower. This model of the Eiffel Tower, this is really delicate. Don't touch it if you get it. I was born on May 6th, 1873.
Well, I thought it was important for people to know about it because, like, I learned that it wasn't underground and it wasn't a railroad. It was just called that, and that's something that I never knew before. I thought it was underground, and I just thought it was an interesting topic to learn about. I knew that slaves were treated equally, but I didn't know that it was that shallow to have a store to auction off slaves. And like in this, most slaves lived in homes, but also most slaves were whipped and tied, and it was very shocking to me when I figured that out. And this was a very shocking topic that I studied.
Hi, I'm Martha McAllister Shook, and I was born in 1820 in Ireland, Armagh, Mullabrach. It was a really fun life to live in Ireland with my
my kids and my husband, but then an event happened that changed my whole life. An Irish potato famine. This caused the potatoes to turn black, mushy, and smell terrible. So I emigrated to America with my husband. Then my kids came with my parents. Then the Civil War started. But before that, I started to wash and fold Abraham Lincoln's clothes.
I'm Miles Davis's piano player and his secret best friend, and we played together and I arranged for some songs for him. But you probably haven't heard of me because I got blacklisted in 1947, so that's why my name isn't on many of the albums.
I'm the son of the top scorer in the tournament, Ademir Marquez de Menezes, and basically in my story, it says that everyone is against me. And also something that's important is that about 10,000 people suicide themselves because Brazil lost. And I lost basically all of my friends, and only one of my friends stayed, and he was Pele. And everybody kept saying that I didn't encourage my dad enough to play his best in the final. So then me and Pele played a game versus 14 other kids, and then we were going up to 10 goals, and then me and Pele won. So then they will stop calling me that it's all my fault.
My name is Violet, and I was Maria Tallchief's best friend. And we met when she was 8 years old. We became best friends instantly, and at age 17, she decided that she wanted to ask if we could go to New York City, and I didn't want to leave her, so I went too. Soon, George Balanchine, and he's over here, he joins the company, and he choreographed a dance for Maria, which is the Firebird. That's her performing the Firebird.
I am Lawrence, and I'm a survivor of the Titanic. When the Titanic snapped in half, from these two smokestacks, this part went down immediately. It just had drowned. Like, I'd say about half the people on the Titanic at the time, me and William, were on the railings. We were holding, we were dangling, and unfortunately, William had lost his grip, and he had fallen, but he didn't just fall, he fell and he broke his neck.
This is a story about how I survived the Black Death. Now, this was actually a bacteria-borne disease. It was started on rats and fleas. Now, what was happening is that the rats got sick and the fleas would bite the rat. And after it bit the rat, it would need to find a new owner or something to live on. And that included humans. So it would fly on the human, bite the human, it would get through your body.
I think this night is the best because you get dress up and pretend you're someone else.